are we doing? All right? Rio 2016, mate.
Yeah. Anything free goes on forever.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the England team announcement for England versus Argentina on Sunday at Twickenham Stadium. We've got England head coach Eddie Jones, who I'll just pass over to firstly for a short introduction section before we'll move to questions for the live section. Thank you. Eddie.
Yeah, very pleased to join you today. I think the whole squad's looking forward to these next 4 matches where we have basically a dress rehearsal for the World Cup, so we want to find out more about our opposition than they find out about us. The squad's preparation's been first class. I can't tell you how pleased I am with the players, their attitude, their focus, their attention to detail, determination to get better. They've been exceptionally led by Ellis and Jack Noel in the first week, and now Owen's come back and he'll take over the captaincy of the side with those 2 guys as his very strong lieutenants. So we feel like the leadership team over the last couple of weeks has really moved forward. So we're delighted with the opportunity to play against such a quality side. We're hoping Lebanon wins on Friday night against Australia. So Czech comes down full of beans on Sunday, ready to take on us. So be delighted to take any questions from you.
Thanks. James, we'll come to you first.
How big a boost is it to have Owen Farrell back, and how close was he to coming through the protocols? Was it touch and go at any stage?
No, he's come through really well. He's getting close to 100 caps. He's the 3rd highest point scorer in Test rugby, so he's a significant player for us. And he's come back into the squad. Again, as I said, ably supported by Ellis and Jack, who've done a great job in his absence, moulding the team, and he'll certainly add a lot of competitive spirit to the team on Sunday.
And less than 2 weeks since his concussion, can you give us an idea of what he's got to go through? Obviously, concussion now is very well documented in terms of the risks.
Yeah, look, I'm not a doctor. That's all done by the medical staff. They've got a very strict protocol which he follows. There's internal testing and there's external testing, and he's passed all of those.
And the captaincy, was there ever any consideration to not giving it back to him? You mentioned Ellis, Genge and Tom Curry.
Ellis and Jack have led this team in his absence and done a really good job. But with Owen coming back, we felt the 3 of them can do a fantastic job for us.
And a 6-2 split on the bench, what's the thinking there?
We didn't go 7-1, mate. Decided against it. But that will be a consideration in the future. The 6-2, that's just right, mate. It's how the game's played.
Is that thinking in terms of what Argentina are going to bring?
Or what we need.
Which is?
We need to win up front. You know, it's going to be a front door game. They're coming through the front door, they're not coming in the backyard. So we've got to meet them in the front door.
Thank you. Mitch.
Eddie, that 10-12, not 10-12-13 combination is something that fans were very excited about. How keen have you been to get that together?
It's been delightful to have those 3 together. I'm not sure when the last time they played together. I know Owen and Marcus have only played 4 games together. Certainly Manu wasn't involved in Australia, so they have him back. Brings a lot of power and pace and experience, mate. You know, he's a very experienced Test player, and to have Slady on the bench finishing the game for us gives us great versatility in that area.
And what have you seen from them together in the week?
They've only had 3 training runs together, but each training run they get a little bit sharper, a little bit more cohesive. So we're looking forward to them playing. But to do that, we have to win quality ball up front. You can't play unless you can win quality ball up front.
And just one more, the return of Joe on the wing.
Yeah, no, he's had a really good 2 weeks preparation. We took him on the Australian tour, played him in the first test, probably wasn't at his best, but he's had a good run into this test match, and certainly in training yesterday he was exceptional.
Thanks. Julian, please.
Yeah, I just wondered, having seen Argentina's performances in the Rugby Championship, and they've won a game in New Zealand now, played very beaten Australia, I just wonder, what do you make of this Argentina team compared to other Argentina teams you've come up against?
Yeah, well, having played against Argentina, I think the first time was 2001 at the River Plate Stadium, which was a exceptional experience. Seeing the grandstand sway with the chanting of the crowd and the history of that River Plate. And I remember the players running out, through a giant sausage plastic cover, which could be described in other ways, which I won't describe. And then the ferocity of playing against Argentina, and then having played against them a few times for England, it's always a tough physical contest. They've always prided themselves on their scrum de la Bajaja, I think it's called. Apologies for Spanish pronunciation. But they come through the hooker in the scrum, and with Montoya there, they will be coming through him.
Do you think they've got more behind the scrum now than they used to have?
Well, I think they've gone back to their more Argentinian style of play. I think having that experience of playing Super Rugby probably changed the way they play for a little bit of time, and they became a very ball movement team, but they've become a much more physical set-piece team, and I know Czech wants them to be like that, and he understands their mentality really well.
Thank you.
Do we have anything else for the live section?
Eddie, just what is it that makes Owen such a good leader and captain? Obviously, that's never been in doubt, has it?
Having coached for a while at the top level, I don't think I've met a player with more competitive spirit than him. There's been a few good ones, and certainly he'd be in the top three. He's just got an unbelievable desire to win, and leads from the front, and he brings people with him.
Who are the other two, Eddie? Who are the other two? You said people
Well, Gregan wasn't bad. John Smith wasn't bad either. They will be all top-notch guys.
Great stuff. Lovely. We'll end the live section there. Thanks. We'll go next door for the writers' brief.